The kindness that changed everything. The rain poured relentlessly, drumming against the cracked asphalt of a small-town gas station. Ethan Parker, a skilled but struggling mechanic, wiped his grease-stained hands on an old rag and glanced at the dimly lit garage where he worked long hours just to get by. Life had not been kind to him lately. Bills piled up, his job at the shop felt uncertain, and despite applying to several companies, no one seemed to be hiring. Just as he was about to lock up for the night, a sputtering old sedan rolled into the lot, steam hissing from under its hood. Through the rain-speckled windshield, he saw a weary woman gripping the steering wheel, her face filled with frustration and worry. The moment she stepped out, balancing a toddler on her hip while trying to shield both of them from the rain with a flimsy jacket, Ethan knew he couldn't turn her away. Having some trouble, he called out, walking toward her. The woman sighed, shifting the little girl in her arms. "It just died on me. I don't know much about cars, but I'm pretty sure it's bad news." Ethan knelt beside the car and quickly assessed the problem. "Your radiator's leaking, and your battery's nearly shot. It's fixable, though." He glanced at her and noticed the exhaustion in her eyes. "I can take care of it now if you don't mind waiting a bit." Her shoulders sagged with relief. "That would be amazing. I don't have a lot of cash on me right now, but I can pay later if that's okay." Ethan hesitated for only a second. His bank account was nearly empty, but something about the desperation in her voice struck a chord. He'd been raised to believe in kindness, even when it wasn't convenient. "Don't worry about it," he said with a small smile. "Consider it on the house." The woman's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" He shrugged. "Yeah. Just a little good karma." Tears welled up in her eyes, and she whispered, "Thank you." Ethan got to work, replacing the radiator hose, topping off fluids, and charging the battery. It was a solid 2 hours before he finally wiped his hands clean and stepped back. "All right, you're all set. It should get you where you need to go." She placed her daughter in the car and turned back to him. "I don't know how to repay you." Ethan simply shook his head. "Just pay it forward someday." She smiled through her tears. "I will." A life-changing interview. The next morning, Ethan ironed his best shirt and headed to his most promising job interview yet, at Horizon Industries, a well-respected automotive company. He had applied months ago, never expecting a callback. This was his shot at finally turning things around. Walking into the sleek, modern office, he felt out of place in his worn-out dress shoes, but he reminded himself that his skills mattered more than appearances. A receptionist led him into a conference room, where he nervously waited for his interviewer. When the door opened, Ethan stood up, and froze. The woman from last night walked in, now dressed in a professional navy blue suit, looking composed and confident. She was just as shocked as he was. "You," she whispered. Ethan swallowed hard, unsure if this was a good or bad twist of fate. Hi." Then, she did something unexpected. She smiled, a warm, grateful smile that reached her eyes. She sat across from him, folding her hands. "I didn't introduce myself properly last night. I'm Olivia Bennett, CEO of Horizon Industries." Ethan's heart pounded. CEO. The woman whose car he had fixed, the woman he had helped, expecting nothing in return, was the one who held his future in her hands. "I don't think we need to go through the formal interview," Olivia continued, her voice filled with emotion. "I saw who you are when you had no idea I could offer you anything. You're the kind of person I want in my company, someone who leads with kindness and integrity." Ethan's breath hitched. "Are you saying?" "You're hired," she said, smiling. "If you want the job, it's yours." Ethan sat there, stunned, before breaking into a disbelieving grin. I don't know what to say." She extended her hand. "Say yes." He took her hand, shaking it firmly. "Yes. The power of kindness. As he walked out of the office, a new future unfolding before him, Ethan couldn't help but think about last night, how a simple act of kindness had come full circle in the most unexpected way. Sometimes, the universe had a way of repaying goodness in ways one could never predict. And sometimes, all it took to change a life was a little compassion.